This is a subatomic particle. This is the answer to how everything in your reality works. It is how you create your own reality, whether consciously or unconsciously. It is what you can control and how you can manifest whatever you want. This is not a theory or just hypothetical. Science is now proving how your beliefs, thoughts, and feelings affect your reality. This is no longer a concept. The reality of life and how the universe works is being proven scientifically and physiologically. The responsibility of creating the life you want is 100% within your control. You have the power to choose and create the life that you would like to live. This truth gives you back your power by connecting with your inner being or higher self to make you happy. You have the power to decide what creates your own happiness. You do have the power to manifest your desires. Previously, science believed the world that we live in is objectively real. That is, it exists as a separate entity, regardless of our connection to it. As science progressed, however, and the composition of the atom was researched, it was discovered that the previous laws describing the behavior of atoms no longer applied to subatomic studies. Physical definition and common sense theories could not explain the response of these particles. Quantum physics is a modern science that supports the theory of the grand unified field. Everything in life is connected. When atoms are broken down, quarks and electrons are discovered, and within these particles exists pure energy, which is not physically measurable. Quantum science has discovered this energy has its own intelligence and responds in a non-physical and non-common sense way. Greg Braden, the author of The Isaiah Effect and other books, demonstrate this in his experiments and reports on it in his article, The Science of Peace and the Power of Prayer. Quantum physics recognizes that everything in the universe exists at the same vibration. That is, it all has the commonality of pure identical energy. This energy is known by many as the consciousness of God. This means a rock, a bird, a star, or a human being are all ultimately made of the same stuff. In spiritual terms, this is acknowledgement that God is everywhere and exists in all things. This energy cannot not exist. It has never not been and never will not be. It is infinite and indestructible. All of this energy is linked. Therefore, it's known as the grand unified field. This unification means that every aspect of our energy affects energy surrounding us. As humans, we all have our own separate consciousness that is definitely unique, yet it is also linked to the consciousness of the entire universe. We are connected to everything. In essence, every human experiences a reality of being the center of their own universe. Therefore, everything we believe and think doesn't just govern our behavior, it literally creates the world that we experience. We actually shape our life and everything in it via our thoughts and the beliefs that we have about ourselves and life. When you realize the power and influence you have over what is manifested in your life, you will create the life you want and deserve. This is the foundation of quantum neural manifestation alignment, or QNMA. Here are the creators of QNMA, Dr. Crystal Rains and Earl Hall. All right, welcome in everybody. This is our first session that we're doing after the first week of QNMA. And I can tell you, I've been listening every day, sometimes a couple times a day, depending on what I'm dealing with. And it's just, well, I do this all the time. So this is just my natural course of the day as far as what I do. but I want to jump right in and start hearing from you guys as far as what you've been experiencing after the first 7 days of the first phase of QNMA. So we're going to start with Amrit. Amrit, you talked to me the other day and you were like, just, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Started off listening a couple times a day. So tell us what has been going on with you. How did this start for you?
Yeah, I apologize about the background noise here.
That's all right.
Basically, the first time I listened to it, I was so relaxed. I just wanted to hear it again and again. And I ended up hearing it, I think, 3 or 4 times.
Wow.
And on the 4th time, I just kind of dozed off. It was a really relaxing experience. And using the whole left and right ears, the music to go with it. I thought everything was great. Now, the change I experienced after a few days was there was a blockage I had. All my life, at least for the last 3 or 4 years, I've been wanting to move to a different area. And I've just not believed that was something that I could do. Interestingly, a few things have changed. And my whole thinking it's almost like this wall has been removed where to say,
wow.
It's okay. I can move outside of London because I have a property business that I run, and I don't need to be in London to run it. And that was probably the biggest change that I saw, that this fear of that I have to live in London has been removed. So that was a really big thing for me, because this is life changing. So, yeah, exactly. And I realized, I've been listening to it every day. I mean, it's been a wonderful experience. I'm really looking forward to the next phase. You're telling me it builds momentum.
It's the next phase. I'm going to be releasing that, and just as soon as we get off of here, I'm going to put up the second one. And the first one, what Crystal and I call it, is like the primer. It's just getting you ready to experience the manifestational power that all of us have within. This next one is just, I can't wait to get it to you guys. So you're going to all have it today, so you can start the second phase of this. And by the time we get to next Sunday and that third one comes out, Crystal, why don't you talk about that? What are they going to expect in the second and the third one?
Thanks for putting me on the spot here. My brain went
boom.
I'm just thinking of all the beautiful things that Amrit just said, and I'm going, oh my gosh, what I said about not crying on camera, I lied.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing the benefits that can come from this. And I'm so excited because we've been talking all week about the next one that we're releasing today, and then also the third one, because they build upon themselves. And
pretty much that's what I was going to say, is that they're building. The first one we were just introducing you. The second one is going to be more about the mechanics of manifesting, and the third one's just going to hit you upside the head.
With that. So, I mean, Amrit, I know you got to go, but if there's anything else you'd like to say.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to say that the other thing that I've been, before I think in the last call that we did, I was saying I used to have a lot of negative thoughts, especially when I'm doing really boring stuff like voiceover editing, and I start replaying these negative events. Now I've just become a lot more aware of it, aware of when I'm doing it. And once I'm aware of it, then I can start controlling it and say, you know what? I don't need to think that way. I choose not to think that way. So that's really empowering. So I'm really looking forward to, the next audio file. Really, I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, Crystal.
Coming in about the next hour. In about the next hour, you'll all have it.
Oh yeah, brilliant. Looking
this is amazing. Okay.
Thank you, Amrit. That just makes me feel
so
on
much.
top of the world, and it just keeps getting better and better. And I'm so excited for the whole thing. Thank you.
That's no problem.
It was so amazing. Yesterday, Crystal helped me out with a situation I was having, a personal situation, and she took me through something that I had never experienced before. But I'm only bringing this up because Crystal has such a wealth of knowledge about how to immediately address issues that you're dealing with. And as we continue to build out Q&A, all of these things are going to be coming, and they're just absolutely amazing. But yeah, Amrit, thank you so much. I definitely appreciate that, and all the best to you, my friend.
Thank you.
Just
Thanks, guys.
More is coming.
I'm gonna have a good one. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this afternoon too.
All right.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Who wants to go next? Any takers? Andrea, okay, Andrea, let's do this. Welcome in. How you? All right. How have you been doing this first week with Q&A? What's happened with you?
I tell you, I put my testimony in the comments section on the website this morning. I did it just this morning before this. But so the first time I listened to it, I understood what she was saying. I thought I understood what you all were saying about the two voices. I thought it was going to be the two voices just saying the same thing, right? But when the first voice came in, I was like, oh, that's nice and soothing. That sounds so good. I'm getting it. And then the second voice came in saying something totally different. I was like, wait a minute, what? It was kind of startling to me, right?
Yeah.
But then, I kept listening, and so it's like it was a matter of which one to listen to first and which one to listen to. So I had to get into the flow of it. But I tell you, by the second day, whatever it was doing in my brain, by the second day, my negative self-talk was quieting.
Wow.
It was lessening, and it was being replaced with more positivity, more positive thoughts. And I had been working on this for years on my own, right? So, and I had been telling people it is possible to, replace negative self-talk with positive self-talk. You just have to work at it and practice it. That's what I have been telling people. So I've been working on this for a really, really long time. And on my own, I had been seeing little, just little results, and I had been coached by two other people a few years before. But this, on a daily basis, it's like it's mind blowing, the shift that's actually happening. And I found that there were a couple of days when I fell asleep, drifted off while listening, and Crystal said, just go on. And I remember Crystal saying, that's going to happen, just go on and do that. But for me, I realized I need to be awake, because the second day I fell asleep, I noticed the negativity just creeping back in a little bit. And I was like, no, I can't have this. I can't have that negativity creeping back in. So I'm going to stay awake while I'm listening to this, because it's doing something really good for me. And I really like feeling good.
Don't we?
Yeah. And that's the thing. I want to repeat that good feeling that's coming in and take it further. So I didn't know that you were going to drip out the sessions. So after I finished the first week last night, right? So this morning I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go in for, phase 2. Where's the download? I'm ready for the download.
Making you wait on it, right?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. So yeah, that's my testimony. I'm loving it.
It's, and thank you so much for sharing that. And it is, it's that thing about the double voice is basically just letting it go, just not trying to control it, not trying to hear it so much, but just allowing it. This is just the science of it and how it works. And, with all of that, but that is amazing. Crystal, your thoughts, words from what Andrea did.
I am just so excited, because having worked with these processes for 27 years, I know the power of it. But to hear the confirmation coming from everyone here, it's like, yes, it still works.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited.
It's working. Thank you.
Could I add something to that for you, Andrea?
Well, you're next. So you're going to talk, and you're going to go into your testimony then. Since you're talking.
Okay. Am I on now?
Yeah, you're on.
Oh, okay. No, I just want to say to Andrea, is it Andrea or Andrea?
Andrea.
Okay, Andrea. Even if you do fall asleep, your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind still hears it.
Oh, I understand that. But so, it doesn't work for me if I sleep. Yeah, when I noticed the difference in my thought processes, the couple of days that I fell asleep on it, I noticed the shift backwards, and
Okay.
I can't have that. I only want to go forward. I hear what you're saying, and I heard what Crystal said, but I believe that it filters through during sleep, but I need to be awake. For me,
there's a lot of people that have a reaction that they can be asleep and still get it perfectly. But like you, I need to be awake because if I go out, I have no recollection. And maybe it's the control issues. I'm not sure. But I want to be right on top of it so I know what is happening.
Right.
If I leave it to my subconscious or my other than conscious or whatever I'm going to call it at the moment, it has a tendency to just be there and I don't know it in here. And that's where I want to know it.
Right. I want to be totally aware. It's the total awareness. I think that matters to my consciousness.
Okay. To be high five. I'm right with you.
that backward motion,
not acceptable.
That's not fun. Unacceptable. Exactly. That's unacceptable. I'm forward motion only.
Yeah.
But thank you, Conchita.
Yeah, thank you. No, I know everyone sees this differently. Everyone reacts to it differently. And maybe it's because I've been doing this kind of thing for much of my life, much of my adult life. What I find with Crystal's work is that because her voice has the quality that it has, I can just drift with it. I find myself, I don't even feel like I'm in my body. I feel like I'm just drifting on a higher plane. And although I'm drifting, because that's the sensation that I get, although I'm drifting, I'm getting the messages, and the messages are just going deeper within me. And what I find is, like I said, I've been doing this kind of work on myself for many, many years. And I'm using this as supplemental to what I do. And right now, Earl knows and Crystal knows, I'm doing the work of probably 5 people right now at this moment. And it will continue to be that way for the next 3 months or so. And I'm finding that I'm able to handle it. I'm finding that this helps get me in a mode where when I start my day, no matter what comes up, I'm going to be able to handle it. If I get annoyed now, because I get very annoyed with people, I don't have much patience with people that are not intelligent. That is, when you're out and about, you run into so many of those people. And when you're dealing with projects and things you have to do, you also are dealing with so many of those kinds of people. And I've always found myself before being so irritated, just so irritated. Although I know that within myself that there are times when I'm not sure of something that I probably get on someone's nerves too, because I don't know certain things. So I've learned to take that into consideration. I've learned to just calm down and systematically deal with what needs to be dealt with without all the annoyance. And when I do find myself getting annoyed, then I can just go back to that feeling of the flow, because it just put me into this thing where I was just, it was like this. It was like so very zen. Wow. And I can just recall that and go right back there. And the recollection comes to me so quickly because I resonate so much with Crystal's voice.
Thank you, my friend.
Make sense? It's hard to explain. I'm trying to make sense of it. But like I said, I've been doing this kind of thing, working on myself for so many years, and this type of thing is not new to me. But the way this is presented just reinforces everything and keeps me at a pace where I can do all the things I need to do and get them done without all the stress I used to have.
Awesome. Perfect. Awesomeness.
Perfect.
Who's next? Who wants to go next? There's only 2 of you left. Okay, alphabetical order then. All right, Barbara, then Lela will go last. Your mic isn't on yet. Yeah, you got to unmute your mic. There you go.
She is.
Hello.
Hello.
I am much like Conchita. I think that because I'm eternally working on myself
All of us.
all the time. I don't even know if this thing is doing anything. But anyway, I'm eternally working on myself. And I think Conchita just said how I feel. Crystal's voice, the combination of the music, the voice, and just kind of the flow of everything just helps me flow better. Because I do a lot of my own personal work and all that kind of stuff. And not to say that I don't have negative thoughts, because I do. And many of them are directed at myself, but a lot of times, like Conchita, it's like you kind of get a little agitated. It's like, my God, do you just not know this? Right? You know? So I find that it really has a couple things. I feel energized, relaxed, rejuvenated all at the same time.
Okay.
And so, in fact, I did it this morning in bed before I got out of bed. And then, so I'm glad to know I've got another one to do today. So that's exciting. That's going to amp it up. But I feel like I'm able to flow even better. I had started to get a good flow anyway with what I'm doing, but I feel like I'm more productive and flowing in whatever it is I'm doing better. You know, I say this all the time on my meditation group. I am a former serious person. So it takes a lot for me to, I'm a planner, you know, at heart, I'm a planner. And so this whole experiment of trusting my guidance and intuition and all of that is quite an experience, because I'm normally like, okay, I was telling my husband this morning, I'm like, so I'm not quite sure what we're going to do on Thanksgiving. For me, that is big, because normally it's a Thursday. And I'm not a big, you know, but it's like, at least I know what we would be doing. You know, and so just flowing with, you know, well, we might just go to Piccadilly. I don't know. You know? That's big for me, to not be stressed by it, you know, and to just go with the flow, knowing that everything is going to happen as it's intended. And so this has helped me get there in a different way, because it's not something I've had to do myself. And as a person who teaches meditation, it's always wonderful when you can listen to someone and be guided. And then, because I'm extremely auditory, everybody's voice doesn't resonate with me, you know, and in fact, a lot of people's voices aggravate me, you know, and so it's like, and it's sometimes I can't even tell you why, but it's like, some people say, oh, I love that voice. I'm, oh, well, good for you. I mean, it just doesn't, and Crystal's voice really resonates with me. So thank you for that. And so I just feel like the flow, just like Conchita said, it's just the flow that goes now. And I'm just so grateful. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
My goodness. I'm going to need a seatbelt.
You are.
Oh gosh. Okay, Lela, you're in the hot seat now. You're the last one. You got to turn your mic on though.
Got it.
Yep.
It is a hot seat because I've got like my space heater
you got to
and it like the air flows up.
Oh gosh.
Only way I can stay halfway. Well, half of me stays warm. It's like a rotisserie chicken. You gotta turn every so often. Okay, so I guess what I have to say is going to be a little bit different than everyone else. So I have had my own like affirmation tape that I've made for myself, and I've really been slacking on listening to that as of late. As I started listening to it, or to this, I noticed it puts me to sleep. Like it like, but I don't think it's actually full sleep, because like the second it goes off, I'm like so I've been putting it on in the, like when I wake up in the morning just on my own. Because I've been waking up earlier lately, and it's only been since I've been listening to this. I've been waking up earlier, which is weird. But I'll put it in and I'll listen to it for 1 or 2 rounds. I just put it in, and then as soon as it goes off, I'm like awake.
Are you in a theta state?
Yeah, you've been taught, in that theta state, and then coming out of that theta state.
Yeah, and that's what I'm assuming. But for me, I noticed, and it was like 2 days ago, I heard
I was listening to it and I heard something that I had never heard on it before. So like there are phrases that I thought I had listened thoroughly and heard every phrase, and there were phrases that just in the last 2 days, and I'm sure as I continue to listen, I'll probably hear more just because it's going at you in such a way that, I do tend to be a more squirrel type person.
Okay.
So that's probably a good thing, probably appeals to my inner squirrel chasing. So, but I think one of the biggest things is for me, it just, not in a negative way, but in a very like cut and dry way, it highlighted some, omissions I'm making towards taking steps towards my goals. When it talks about like visualization, I can visualize, my future.
What they're inspired to do, because if Crystal and I hadn't done this wouldn't be.
That's right.
This would not be. We would not have all experienced this. And all of us in some way, shape, or form needed to experience that, most of all Lela. And now she's got a support system to go to of people that have gone through what she's going through. And it is so amazing to me. And so as I was thinking and as I was holding back my own tears, it was like, I have no right not to live up to my full potential. You have no right not to live up to your full potential, because your full potential, it is not for you. It's for me. It's for Lela. It's for Barbara. It's for JC. It's for everybody that you will touch. That is your purpose. And you've got to do it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, JC came in a bit late, but man, we are so glad to have you here. I finally have some more testosterone. We had Amrit. Amrit was on. He was the first one that was on, and that was an amazing thing, having Amrit in. But now finally we've got some testosterone.
Have you guys been going for a while, or are you just starting?
No, we've been on for an hour. It started an hour ago.
Gotcha. It's just 8 a.m. here. I thought it started at 8 a.m. my time.
Oh, no worries, man. You're here when you needed to be.
That's
so
right.
You're actually the last one up. So everyone's already talked about, what's been going on with them. We've had Lela. Oh my gosh, her thing.
Sorry.
Wow. No, there's no sorry.
I
That
won't
was
be
needed.
sorry anymore. Yeah, you just missed out on a major tear fest. So that's
Apologizing.
Yeah.
Don't apologize.
But that's like, I've got like 40 minutes of video I've got to cut out of this. So but JC, how's it been going for you, man? And welcome, man. Thanks for showing up, and no worries about time or whatever like that.
Yeah, I get really confused. I think you put Eastern Standard Time.
I did.
Milwaukee Central Standard Time.
Yep.
And that changed with Daylight Savings Time. So now I don't know when you start.
Yeah.
Because
no
Eastern
worries,
Standard
man.
Time is not the same as Milwaukee Central Standard Time, which has now changed with Daylight Savings.
Yes. That's why I use Eastern Standard Time now. Just it makes
JC, the time is now.
The time is now.
Right.
That's all that matters. The time is now.
Right.
We're glad you're here.
So what's been happening with you these past 7 days here with the Q&A?
So I dove in pretty heavily from the get-go. On Sunday, I listened to it 4 times.
Wow.
And I realized I was going to have to download it and loop it for myself for longer segments. So I have a 15, 30, 45, an hour long version, so that at the end of 15 minutes, I'm not coming back into reality and having to start my phone again. And that's been very nice. I found, I listened to it in the morning, first thing in the morning. And then throughout my day, if I hit a rough patch in the day, or if I'm having a difficult time. And it's been very, it's brought me some peace.
Okay.
Is pretty much the main thing that I can see that it's changed my life. It's changed the way I start my day. I'm in a much more peaceful state when I start my day, trying to be more open to the day, which I have never been a very structured person anyway. I tend to just roll with my day and kind of have rolled with my life in general. But in a way, I kind of feel like I'm fighting my day less after listening to QNMA.
Okay.
Even though I used to just kind of, I've always been a midday night person. I've never worked in the morning. I've never had like a 9-to-5 job. I've always worked in the evenings or freelance work. So my days have always been kind of loose at the beginning and more structured toward the end. And this has somehow, even though my days have been kind of loose like that for the majority of my working life, this has even made it even more relaxed. I seem to be fighting the day less, if that makes any sense.
Oh, yes. That's awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
So it's brought me some peace, which was much needed.
That's amazing. It's
That's wonderful.
and the like I said earlier, the second one is now available, so it's going to take you to new heights. I upload